Sup homies. In this video, I'm going to show you why you need to pick a good soundtrack for your short films, your skits, your videos, any type of story that you could be telling. You're going to need a good soundtrack. Let's get into it. So first of all, my name's Nate Killian. Thanks for watching another video. If you're new here, that's pretty dope. You could subscribe if you're feeling that. And if you're not new here, that's also pretty dope. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so soundtracks. We all love a good soundtrack. There have been soundtracks that have made me feel a certain way, and I've loved them so much that I would work out to them at the gym. Specifically the Man of Steel soundtrack. You're probably thinking I'm a hardo for that. Accurate. But the reason soundtrack is so important is because your soundtrack is going to communicate and create a certain emotion in your videos, in your films, in your skits. There's literally a science to this, and filmmakers use it all the time to get the audience to feel how they want them to feel. If you're making a film and your soundtrack is upbeat and happy, chances are the audience is going to think, well, I should be upbeat and happy. This character is upbeat and happy. Whatever is happening right now is upbeat and happy. However, say you choose a soundtrack that has piano and it sounds kind of sad, chances are the audience will think, oh, the character is sad. I should feel sad. What's going on is sad. So let me show you an example. Let's watch this scene together, the first time with one soundtrack and the second time with a different soundtrack. And let's see the difference. So how'd that make you feel? To me, seeing that scene where my wife Emily finds this toy on a trail, the music almost made it feel like kind of silly, like comical, almost like Toy Story, like it's whimsical, it's innocent. Like, oh, like this silly little toy is on a trail. And that's what I was going for when I picked this soundtrack. Now, let's keep the scene the exact same, but let's change the soundtrack. Check it out. So second time through, definitely felt a little different. To me, it felt like there was almost something wrong with this toy. Like, what is it doing here? What is it doing here? Not like last time, like, oh, what's this silly little toy doing? It's like, what is this toy doing here? It felt creepy. It felt mysterious. Like there was something behind this toy. What was it? And that's simply just because I changed the soundtrack. I didn't change the color correction. I didn't change the pacing. I didn't change the angles. Everything is exactly the same. Just a different soundtrack. Now let's watch one more example just to make sure you got it. So in this scene, Emily and I are playing Uno, playing a card game. And I put down the draw 4 card. Now the soundtrack is indicating that there's some sort of tension here, like it's competitive, like she kind of is eyeing me down because like, how dare you put that card down? Now it's a competition. And this rivalry, this tension kind of builds because of the soundtrack. Now let's switch it up one more time and see how it feels. And just like the last time, nothing is changing here besides the soundtrack. The pacing's the same, the color's the same, the angles are the same. Everything is exactly the same. Only thing we're changing is the soundtrack. Check it out. So, different soundtrack, different emotion being communicated. This time, the card game and the eye contact didn't feel competitive. It felt intimate and romantic. Like when Emily and I locked eyes, it was this moment of like a relationship was building. It felt like in the eye contact there was love, or like I said, an intimacy. Which, let's be honest, that's exactly what would happen if I played cards with my wife. But yeah, it's exactly the same scene, but a different soundtrack. One felt competitive, the other one felt romantic. So as you can see, your soundtrack is going to be extremely important when it comes to making feature-length films, short films, skits, or any other videos, or any other type of storytelling. Your soundtrack is another key element in communicating to your audience what you want them to feel, how they should feel, what the character is going through. It helps the audience have more of an understanding of your characters and the story. One way that you can learn more about choosing the soundtrack for your videos or your films is honestly just by watching films. If you want to make movies, watch some movies. And as you watch, pay attention to the soundtrack. How is that soundtrack making you feel? What is it communicating to you? Take that and then apply it to your own work. It's as simple as that, but another way that you can practice choosing your soundtrack is doing something similar to what I just did, which is you shoot one scene and you pick one soundtrack, you see how that makes you feel or how it's communicating, and then you try a different soundtrack. And then you show other people, ask other people to watch your work and say, hey, how did you feel watching this? What did you feel that this video or this short was communicating to you? And now you're learning, oh, this type of sound communicates this emotion, this type of music communicates this emotion, and now you're progressing and choosing your soundtrack. And obviously this will be a little different if you pick a song and you edit to the beat of that song. It'll be a little difficult to switch the soundtrack there, but I don't know, B. Gotta roll with the punches, homie. Now, where can you get great soundtrack music for your short films and your skits and your videos? I personally use Artlist. And no, this is not a sponsored video. Be pretty sick in the future though. But I genuinely just enjoy using Artlist. It has a really large library of music and sound effects that is constantly being updated. With Artlist, you can even search for music based on the mood, the style of video, the instrument, or the genre that you're looking for. You can have vocals on or off, whatever you want to do. You can find instrumentals or anything like that. The library is absolutely massive, and they make it really easy to search through and find what you're looking for. So guys, I really hope that was helpful. If you liked this video, give it a like. That way I know you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And if you haven't already, subscribing would be pretty dope. And drop a comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching this video. Keep telling stories, and I'll see you in the next video.